TheTrickLife.com.
A beginner's guide to faking your death on the internet. With so many people on the internet these days, it's hard to get any sort of attention. Short of doing handstands on the beach or being generally just skanky, there seems to be little you can do to win the hearts and loins of your fellow interneters. One way does exist though, and it's almost as old as the internets themselves. Faking your own death is a time-honored tradition dating back to the earliest of technologies, such as the wheel, fire, and gateway computers. But how's it done? Over the next few minutes, you'll learn. Part 1. Choosing your location. Sure, LiveJournal's got its perks. Everyone can log on to get all the latest information about little old you. But don't forget about the forums. Forums attract new people all the time, and if you pick a forum where people are already a bit crazy, they'll be that much more likely to believe you. Part 2. Making your character interesting. On the internet, it's vital to bear in mind Einstein's second law of the internet, which states that I equals H times W times C. That is, the interest generated by a person on the internet is equal to the hotness of the person multiplied by what we call the Kamhor factor, multiplied by the craziness of the community in which the person posts, a unit we measure in LiveJournals. For example, Harry Potter fanfiction forums have a C value of 5 LJs, whereas a chess community has a C value of half an LJ. This means that this woman, if she were to post in a community about stamp collecting, her I value or interest value would be relatively low. Ergo, any death, fake or otherwise, she might experience would be seen as largely insignificant. This woman, however, if she were to post on a community about World of Warcraft, her I value or interest value would be relatively high. Remember, the higher your I value, the more ego strokage you'll get from faking your death. It really doesn't matter if you're in fact ugly and not a cam whore. That's what Google image search was made for. Part 3. Making friends. By far the least important part of the process, it's nonetheless important that you try and make some friends during your time on the forum or LiveJournal community. Otherwise, no one will care about you when you're dead. To do this, simply leave ridiculously positive feedback on every comment, poem, picture or fanfic anyone in the community ever produces, and you'll be sure to have them crying their eyes out when you die. Part 4. Disaster. So you're fed up of being nice to people and want some ego boosting in return. There are two main ways to achieve your very own fake almost death. 1. Car crash. 2. Terminal illness. A quick note about the pros and cons of each. While a car crash might have the tragic unexpectedness that you're looking for, they occasionally make local news, especially if it's a slow news week and a serious accident. Terminal illnesses, on the other hand, are complex and require a lot of research. But remember, if you do pick a terminal illness, every hospital on Earth is legally required to have a laptop hookup point so you can browse your LiveJournal before you kick the bucket. Part 5. Relatively speaking. Of course, if you've just been in a car crash, how will you let anyone know? Simple. Create relatives, who will keep everyone informed about your valiant struggle against cancer or a windshield in the face, whatever you've decided on. Don't worry about IP addresses here, no one bothers to check that sort of thing anyway. If anyone asks how come a relative is posting under the dying person's account name, just say he or she gave me the password in case anything bad ever happened, and it's just as well OMG. Remember, a post without an OMG is a post incomplete. Part 6. Leave them wanting more. Remember, when posting as the relative, never say he or she is going to be okay, always say we're waiting to hear, or we're waiting for the test results. This is known in writing terms as a cliffhanger. It keeps your audience numbers up and those well-wishing, ego-boosting messages flooding in. Part 7. To be or not to be. Ultimately, whether or not you kill off your character depends very much on how many bullshit detectors have gone off. If people have started to smell a rat, kill the character off. People will be less likely to speak ill of the dead, won't they? If you think everyone's bought it, come back to life and share your wondrous story with them. Part 8. Mr. Shit, meet Mr. Fan. If it all goes wrong, there are a number of excuses you can fall back on. 1. OMG, no it's true, STFU, I'm leaving. After saying this, write a long post about how the community is going downhill, and it's not like it used to be in the old days. 2. It's because I'm bipolar / have Asperger's / am manic depressive / whatever, I don't want to talk about it. Be sure to have excuse 1 ready if this doesn't go according to plan. 3. The ever classic, I did it for the lulz. Now you know how to fake your own death on the internet, why not give it a go? There are loads of people you can hurt, piss off and waste the time of just waiting for you out there. So, now that you're ready, fuck off and die.
TrickLife.com